Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new podcast episode. Today I am yet again alone for another podcast episode because this is going to be episode 26, and when this episode is going to release, it will be the 19th of December, I think, or somewhere around that time. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about, like, I have a few things that I want to talk about because I've been thinking about something lately, very interesting, to be honest. Like, not really that interesting, to be honest, but yeah, what if there was a second version of you or me, I guess. What if there was a second version of yourself? Very interesting, I guess, topic, because I mean, what if there was a second version of me? How would he act? I mean, he would probably act the same as me, but still, like, couldn't be cool, like, if there was a second version of you walking around, like, standing next to you, or I mean, obviously, if you are a twin with somebody, that could be the case, of course. But yeah, wouldn't be like very interesting. Like, for example, you are running late on errands or whatever, and you've got something to catch, like a bus, I don't know, or a train, whatever, and you just, like, forgot something at home. Would your other clone be able to grab that and go? I mean, like, yeah, wouldn't be interesting. I mean, what if, yeah, what if in it? That's really interesting, to be honest. Um, yeah, for example, another example, the second one, I guess, is when you just woke up, and I think you need to be somewhere at 9, right? Um, at 9 a.m. But your clone is already there, so that means you can just sleep. But wouldn't, like, affect, like, I don't know, the clone himself? Like, what if the clone, I mean, not really, but what if the clone just becomes angry and just, likes to do the things you do because you made him, or I guess he is there to be just doing your things or quests or whatever, errands, whatever. Yeah, and I don't know, that might seem very interesting, might sound very confusing too, but hey, I mean, the second version of you, what would you do? Or what would you do the clone, or let the clone do? I mean, personally, I think, I mean, I would, like, be big friends with my clone if there was a second version of me, of course. I think, as a person myself, I can, you know, I can be respectful to myself, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm not quite sure. But, I've got a lot of self love, I've respect myself. And I think I respect everyone around me. So, yeah, I think that would be really interesting. Like, two Jaspers, two Lego boys. Oh my god, that's insane. The Lego boy into the Lego boy verse. Yeah, into the Lego boy verse, and it's multiverse shenanigans. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing or topic, I guess. Uh, but yeah, of course, obviously, Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse is kind of a thing like that, right? You have multiple variants of yourself, but still, I mean, that's interesting, right? Would the clone be doing the things you do, like, for example, your homework, or going to school because you're too lazy? Um, but still, that would be really sucky for the clone himself, or the second version of you, because, I mean, you've been doing all that stuff and now he needs to do it, but you're like the same brain waves, like, right? I mean, you have like the same brain waves, so I guess, um, yeah, I don't know. I think, wouldn't be fair for the clone to do the things you do already. Um, that's why it's really interesting to talk about that. I mean, in it. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. That's, yeah. What would you do? I mean, if you had a clone, right? Um, would you make the clone do your things you're doing right now? Like doing the dishes, or video gaming? I'm not quite sure. So you can sleep, probably, I don't know. Or he's the one who's going to study for tests and exams and do homework, right? And you're just going to be lazy AF and just sit on your ass 24/7 and do nothing. I mean, that could be the case for some people. But for myself, I think if I had a second version of myself, I think, I think we have like the same brainwaves, right? I think he would do the same things as me, right? And yeah, I mean, that could be interesting. I mean, should we both be going to school? Probably not. That would be really weird and cause a lot of problems. Hopefully, don't think so. um, but still, that's interesting to talk about, right? But yeah, anyway, I think that's interesting. But alright, the second thing I want to talk about today is the feeling or feeling like a Patrick Bateman Sigma male question mark. Yeah. Anyway, this kind of just links to the first topic, right? Like a clone of yourself. How would you treat that clone? I mean, for example, the Patrick Bateman Sigma male, Sigmas are, I guess, how should I explain this? I think those are persons who act very tough, right? But they're struggling with problems, right? I think, yeah, that's pretty much Patrick Bateman in the American Psycho movie, right? That's like why I actually chose this as the second topic, because kind of connects with the first one. Because would you be like angry and very worked up about your second version of yourself? That could be really interesting. Like I said, I respect a lot of people, so I would probably respect my other version or whatever. So yeah, a Patrick Bateman in it, the very cool Chad himself. Anyway, yeah, you might be a meme, but still, it's some kind of a personality trait, right? Because I mean, I could see some people being a Patrick Bateman-ish person, I mean, like certain emotions, right? Patrick Bateman is very cold, very chill, and he just yeah, selfish. He just thinks about himself, right? Um, and is pretty effed up in the head, right? um, but yeah, I mean, feeling or being like a Sigma male, what would what would be happening if you were somebody like that? I think, yeah, people would act very weird around you. um, Not that I know any people who would like act like Patrick Bateman, because I mean he's a fictional character, of course, but still, great movie, by the way. I highly recommend it. You should watch it. Very nice movie. But yeah, of course, there are a lot of Sigma male memes that I really find interesting and funny. I remember once in the chat they were talking about school stuff and pretty serious stuff. And me, as a certified joke man, I just posted a Sigma, GIF, and said K with like the letter K. Funny shit, man. Okay, my sense of humor is like very bad, but anyway, I found that very funny. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make this video because, a topic is like, what would you do if you have a second version of yourself walking around? For example, Into the Spider-Verse is an example of that. But yeah, two versions of yourself. That's really interesting, right? The multiverse is real, perhaps, or he could be like a twin. Um, like, yeah, for example, twins. How do they do that? I mean, if they look exactly like each other, identical like each other, wouldn't be like funny to do like stuff the guy does or girl. I think that would be really funny to see. Um, I mean, what's his name? Like the twin from Zack and Cody, I believe. Wait, yeah, I think those are the names of that or those actors, right? Or the fictional characters, but I don't really remember the actors' names, I guess. But they look exactly like each other. And I think probably in the show Life on Deck, right? The Disney show, they do all sorts of stuff and probably also have like some twin problems, I guess. They replace each other. I think that's also somewhere in that show. I remember that briefly. I think that they once had like some kind of problem, and they just switched up the characters. Like one character just became the other one just to joke around. I'm not quite sure. That could have been happening, but I'm not quite sure about that anymore. But anyway, it's been a while since I last saw that show, to be honest. But yeah, I think yeah, very interesting in it. I'll be looking forward to do another podcast episode with somebody, but currently I'm in exams and I just want to do it alone because why not, right? By the time you're watching this, of course, obviously my exams are already gone, which are like, I think they're gone like in 3 days. So if you're watching this on the 19th or 20th, that means my exams have been gone for like 4 days, which I finish on the 16th. It's a huge thing here in Belgium, right? Your exams, the Christmas exams, yeah, very bad stuff, but you've got to pull through, man. You've got to be a Sigma male. You've got to do it. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, hopefully I'll be finding some new guests or another guests, who knows, for another episode or the next episode, which will be episode 27. And yeah, we'll see. Podcast episodes have been really doing well, to be honest. I really like doing this because I really like to talk with certain people and talk about their passions, hobbies, and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see where everything takes us in the future. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want me to talk about something else in the podcast episode when I'm alone, just me, myself, and I, just featuring Jasper, featuring Legoboy, just let me know. Maybe I can talk about it. But yeah, alright. I will see you later. Goodbye, everyone.